Hello everyone, Ash here, and I finally have another review for you guys tonight. I'm reviewing Divergent. I've been meaning to review a lot of the films I've seen this year. I want to review a lot of them, but I just haven't had a chance to. And as far as my first review is, that I'm going to finish that up sometime soon. So yeah, I got that working on. As far as my Sailor Moon, the manga reviews with each chapter, I'm working on those as we speak. I'll have to hopefully one up tomorrow. But anyway, tonight I'm reviewing Divergent. Swear to God, before this movie came out, there was so much hype for it. I specifically remember how much hype this movie got before it even came out. Oh, it's just like the Hunger Games. It's going to be just as good as the Hunger Games. Hunger Games, Hunger Games. It's going to be as great of it. Just as good as it. So, because I just tried, I was like, okay, let's see this film. Let's see if it has any shot of matching the Hunger Games. It does not. In fact, I literally think they wrote this movie just to piss me off, because this movie it does piss me off. So many flaws. Oh. One, it's a post-apocalyptic city or something. The world's gone straight to hell. And so there's a new city. It's in Chicago. And there's a new form of government. And there's these 5, basically, places you can go. One's military, one's government, one's growing shit, one's law, and one's science. And pretty much all the kids they go in to take a test and they find out which one they're good at, and then they get to pick which one they want to do, which leads into a huge problem later on in this film. I'll get to in a minute. And there's also the ones who aren't a member of any of these groups, and they're pretty much the poor people who no one cares about in this film. So yeah, they're the poor people we don't care about, or we're supposedly not supposed to care about. Yeah, there's them too. And then there's the divergent people. Basically, they're the ones who can do multiple groups. Well, the first problem is the test itself you're supposed to take to find out which group you are. It makes no goddamn sense. And please don't tell me, oh, you need to read the book to understand everything. My question is, why? Why do you need to read the book to understand this film? The Hunger Games, you didn't need to read the book and understand it. Lord of the Rings, you didn't need to read the book to understand it. Harry Potter, you didn't need to read the book to understand what the fuck was going on. So again, why do I have to read the book to understand what the fuck's going on with this test? Because it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it doesn't. Just like the whole test just doesn't really work. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't test you on anything. Maybe the book explains this a whole hell of a lot better, because the movie didn't explain it. It was just like, okay, well, there's you, and there's, I think, a wolf. Now you go chasing the wolf, and yeah, that's your test. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Not to mention, once you choose a faction, that's right, they're factions. Once you choose one, you can't see your family ever again. Why? Why can't you see your family? What's the harm in seeing your family? Yeah, you can't see them anymore if you choose a different faction from them, and you can't choose a different faction from the one you don't like. So again, that makes no sense. But it gets even better. So again, none of this makes any goddamn sense. So there's that. Then we get to the part where they have to choose, and if this was real life, everyone would choose the goddamn military one, because who the fuck would choose growing plants? I'm sorry, what teenager would choose growing plants over being military? To being full-blown military, you can get tattoos and all that shit. I mean, seriously, it's like the whole thing's a mess. And then, just for even more laughs, so our main character, this one right here, she chooses the military one. And I love this. This is what makes it so fucking stupid, is because one of the guys says, there's been a new rule. If you don't keep up, the lower bottom people, if they don't pass, they're kicked out. And since they can't choose another faction, they become a homeless. Or what the fuck they're calling them in this film. So yeah, I want to repeat that. If the people who are on the lower half fail, get kicked out, the lower half get kicked out of the military, and they become homeless. Common sense will apply. You just put them in another faction, but nope, they're homeless. Again, why? What would it hurt to say, okay, you didn't do well here, but you know, we'll put you in another faction, one of the other ones. Again, that would make some sense, but no, you make him homeless. Which, um, here's another $1 million question for you: why are the homeless? Why aren't you kicking them out of the city then? I don't get why you just don't kick them out of the city entirely. Again, this movie just this is so flawed. The society is so fucking flawed. It makes no sense. This would literally, and what you're doing, kicking them out, you're asking for an uprising to happen then. You are full blown asking for people to get pissed off and revolt and try to dethrone the government. Which does try to fucking happen in this film. It's not from the homeless, it's from the science people. For insert your really stupid because evil bad guy reasons there because but the funniest shit is there's two tests in the military, which I'll give this film enough credit saying the military training stuff was kind of interesting. I did like some of that, but really that's just it. That was the only things I enjoyed was all the training she did, and that was the only stuff I actually enjoyed. Until we got to the mental portions, which you realize are completely and totally flawed. See, it's when you go in there and you discover your worst fears. Well, our female main character here figures out it's just a dream, and she gets out of there. They realize, and the guy who's testing her realizes that she's finishing it way too quickly. So, yeah. After that, so he's like, well, you're finishing too quickly. That means you're divergent. No, your test is flawed. Anyone would figure out it's not real. It's just a dream. Since you're telling them it's just a fucking dream, it's not real. That's the problem with this test. It's not. You know it's a dream. You know it's not real. So anyone's going to figure it out once or twice, being there one or two times that this isn't real. So fuck that. I'm not going to bother with it. So fuck. They'll figure it out. Again, this is all flawed. This doesn't work. And I know the excuse is, oh, you need to read a book to understand what's going on. It makes more sense. Well, why didn't the movie try to make this make more sense? It doesn't work. That's the problem with Divergent. None of it really works. And again, it's also trying to be like the Hunger Games, which, yeah, good luck with that. And sadly enough, this isn't the only film that's going to be trying to be just like the Hunger Games. But that's for another review. So what do I give Divergent? Did it have anything? Besides the military training, there's just nothing here that works. Our female character, she's okay. I didn't hate her. She's okay, but everything here just doesn't really work well. It's all badly written and just doesn't make a lot of sense. The story is pretty. It's a pretty stupid story behind it. And if this movie's trying to be like The Hunger Games, it failed miserably because The Hunger Games was a far deeper and far better written film than this piece of shit. I'm going to give Divergent a 2 out of 10. And this is Ash saying so long, I'm out. Good night.